Hey there, it's AJ, and I'm going to review my first Marvel Legends figure of my channel, and it's the X-Force Deadpool, which came out pretty recently. And this is a great figure. I really like this figure. It's basically a re-release of the original Marvel Legends Deadpool, but it has obviously this new paint application that they have, which is the X-Force one. And I actually don't have the original Deadpool. This is my first Marvel Legends Deadpool. It's different from the other one, with regard to his eyes also. Not just the paint scheme, but with his eyes, they painted it red, and they went with the red and black here. And with his gun, I don't know if you can see this. Oh yeah, you can see that. There's red painted into his gun, which is cool. So let me show you. This is what came with the figure. They're coming out with these now for the new Marvel Legends, and I'm not really a big fan of it. It's okay for a stand, I guess, but I mean, it works out with this guy because it's pretty hard to stand him up in different positions because he doesn't have an ankle pivot. But speaking of articulation, let me get into that. Let me show you his articulation. Okay. He has pretty good neck joint that goes back basically all the way. He could look pretty far back. And down really well also. I like that a lot. Side to side, basically 360, right? He has this cool shoulder joint, which it's a really nice joint because you can have him stretch out his chest and have him in cool like katana poses that way, or have him really close chested, and you know it really adds some dynamic poses to your figure. He has his ab crunch, which is nice. It doesn't really get hindered by this. You would think it would, but it has this soft plastic, or it's like almost like a rubbery material, but it's a soft plastic, and it's movable. This belt is also movable, his utility belt, which is nice. And to add even more, his weapons come off in the back. If you needed him to go back without any restraints, you could, which is nice. And he could also move his waist 360. His arms go all the way up, pretty far up, actually. That's really far up, and go down. He double jointed elbows. His wrist could go in and out with this flex joint, and can rotate 360 also, which is nice. The same thing on the other side. He has a little bit of a different grip there. It's mostly for the sword, and obviously this would be for his trigger finger. His legs has the ball joint similar to like the Marvel Select figures, where you have to move the ball. I believe it's called the T joint, right? He has double jointed knees, which is good. He has his ankles go forward and back, and he doesn't have an ankle pivot, which would really help with this figure, but it's okay because he has pretty good articulation, and considering this is a reissue, for its time is really good articulation. So let me show you his weapons. He has this nice katana here. He has two of them actually, and yes, you could put them in the sheaths, which is a nice feature to the figure, and they're pretty flexible, so you don't have to worry about breaking them. His gun over here, his machine gun, I don't know the exact name for it, but it's a really cool looking gun. And he also comes with another one in his, I have in this holster here. This smaller silver gun has a nice application. It's a shiny kind of paint, which is cool. And like I said, you could just attach these the way that you want them to, which makes this figure very customizable. And these belt straps actually can go down if you want. You could take this holster off, which makes this figure really awesome. What I really like about this figure is he looks fierce. The detail in his mask, for instance, it's harder to tell on camera, but there are these indentations here that really make the mask look realistic. And that thing also that you see in the comics, and just the wrinkles, the detail that they went through to add that effect to make him look like he's angry or he's about to do something vicious. So I thought that was nice. Everything else, like with the paint, the shading is very subtle, and it's probably harder to find on camera. You would think that it's just like one solid color, but no. There is shading within the grays, which makes a really nice look to this guy, especially when you have him in your hands. So I definitely recommend this figure. This is what he looks like next to this Marvel Legends brown Wolverine. And so he's a little bit taller than him. And I think he's supposed to be a lot more taller than Wolverine, but that's alright. You could still pose him next to him. I'm still waiting to get the X-Force Deadpool. X-Force Wolverine once it comes out in its own package. Because right now they only have it with the 3-pack. As you can see, his claws aren't straight. Because the only one that's straight right now is the new X-Force Wolverine. So I'm really looking forward to getting that figure, and I will review this figure because it's still a cool figure. This is Deadpool next to the Marvel Select Deadpool, and as you can tell, yeah, he's really big. And I'll review this guy also. I have a lot to review. Thing about him, it's even harder to pose this Deadpool, this Marvel Select one, because his knees are really, really weak. But I'll get to that eventually. So yeah, that was my review. I hope that you guys subscribe and like and comment and let me know which figures you want to see, or what collectibles you would like me to review. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Peace.